I met someone on a pedicab one night in Austin and they were like, you should do this. And I didn't have anything going on at the time. So I was like, okay. And then I realized like how much more freedom I had.
When my buddies were introducing me to it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Your hours are completely self-designated, you know what I mean? Like, you can come in whenever you want, you can leave whenever you want. You can do it any day, in or out of the week.
I do feel like a lot of freedom, especially like coming from like a 9-to-5 work experience.
Beauty of it is you're really able to go everywhere. A lot of people are just like looking for something to do. They're looking for like, oh, like what is Austin? And in fact, a lot of people don't really know.
Honestly, like even today, like I really surprised myself on how well I can navigate the city. Like if somebody's like, oh, I need to go to 4th and Lavaca, I'm like, okay, they need to go to Hotel Zaza. It's gonna be this much.
I'd say the majority of traffic is people going from like East 6 to West 6 or going around to Rainey, or people leaving like the Moody Center events. People see it like, oh, it's just such a good viable way of transportation. Like you get to skip all the Ubers, the traffic downtown, you can take those like side streets, and you know, you get to actually like help support like a local business of just, this is someone that's living in your community.
I feel like I get paid what I deserve because I'm able as an independent contractor to set my rate. So like if I'm at an event and say I'm doing ACL and it's the peak hour where everybody's letting out and there's 100,000 people being let out at one time, then I'm probably going to charge more because the demand is more.
So I like leaving it open a lot too, where I'll just be like, you can pay me however much you feel this is worth, or like however much you want. And more than likely, like people end up, you know, hooking it up.
I try to get like a minimum, like a 30, depending on like where I'm going. I try to get at least $30. It seems pretty fair. Unless it's like really close, then I'm like, you can just pay me whatever you want, because I don't want to feel like overcharging someone for going like 2 blocks.
You can only, you know, screw over so many people until it's like, no one's gonna want to do it. Or then people are telling their friends, they're like, oh no, don't do that, they're gonna try to scam you. And it sucks too, because like whenever I'll give people free rides, and it's like, you know, you see a girl walk around, it's her birthday, she had no shoes on, walking with her friends, like, here, like, do you want a free ride? And they're just immediately like, just turned out like, oh no, you're trying to scam me, you're trying to rob. And it's just like, dude, like, this doesn't cost me anything to give you a ride, you know what I mean?
I actually had a customer last week where they were like, yeah, we took a pedicab ride at ACL, and they told me a price, and then when they dropped me off, they told me a different price. And I'm like, hey man, I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. That's not what I'm out here for.
I think pedicabs are really safe too. I think a lot of people say they're dangerous, you know. I think it's pretty low on accidents versus what you see on scooters versus like cars and everything else.
I know there's some people that kind of get scared when we're riding, and it makes sense. Like if they don't bike often, they don't have that experience of like going through traffic or being next to traffic. But honestly, I would say like pedicabbing is like one of the safest ways of getting around Austin.
Everyone's like background checked, everyone has like a license, and you know, you can't do this if you have any like felonies or DUIs and stuff like that. So it's all a lot of safe people, and the whole pedicab community, it's a lot of really, really cool people.
Before I was a very like things needed to happen a certain way, but this job really has taught me to like be in the flow. And being able to be outside, being able to like be around people, it's like honestly done like a lot for me.
I never would have thought too, just like all the people that you meet through it. Like there's been times like I picked up someone, was able to show them some music and stuff that I make, and then they ended up booking me for a festival to go play in like Arizona.
I have pretty great interactions with customers. I can probably like name on one hand the amount of times in like a year and a half where I was like really frustrated with an experience. Even with intoxicated people, you just have to know what music to put on for them.
You are like, you're on the streets like of these like every night. You get to see just how people interact with each other, and you get to see some very like beautiful moments of just like human kindness. It's nice kind of being able to help people out too while you're down here. You see some people get in some real messed up situation, like they lose their phone, their wallet, all their friends left them, they don't got any shoes. You have the ability to really make someone's night. Like you can make someone super happy. There's nothing better than someone tells you like, oh, this is the best time I've had in years. Like this made my night.